Hello and welcome to Rust and Roses. My name is Rebecca and I certainly appreciate you stopping by my channel today. Want to welcome you if you are a returning subscriber or a returning follower. And if you're not a subscriber already, I would encourage you, if you enjoy the content, to please subscribe to the channel because it helps me to grow and bring you more content. So today, I'm excited to bring you a couple of easy projects that I think anybody should be able to accomplish in a not too long period of time. So with that said, let's get to crafting. So my first project today is my version of the tumbling tower tree. I'm using tumbling tower blocks, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a base using 2 tumbling tower blocks glued together in a line of 4 to make the base of my tree. Then for the sides, I'm actually going to use 2 side by side, and I'm going to make 10 sets of those, 5 for each side of my Christmas tree. And then you'll see where I start to put it together here in just a minute. So now that I have the base all glued together, and I only used wood glue on this because I didn't want there to be any possible gaps left from the hot glue. Anyway, now that it's all glued together, I'm going to use the darker part of the darker blocks from the pack to sort of make I guess you'd call it a foundation. I'm going to use that to build my Christmas tree up because I'm not going to be using the hot glue for the instant hold. I'm going to let this dry overnight before I paint it. So as you can see here, I have my sets of 2, and I'm going to glue those together using my quote-unquote scaffolding, I guess we could call it, to put these together. I've just stacked them up so that my tree will be tiered, I guess you would call it, so that it forms the parts of the branches that come down. So now that that's put together, I'm going to use just a barbecue skewer and cut off the length that I need for the end of my trees, just to give it some stability while it's drying. I'm going to glue that to the outside, and then I'll put the sides of my tree on and give that an opportunity to dry before I put it on the base. Now it's time to put everything together. Now that everything has dried, we need to assemble our tree and start the decorations. Here I have a set of the fairy lights. I ordered a set of these off of Amazon, very reasonably priced. I have the sides of my tree that are now dry. So now I'm going to glue them to the base that I created earlier. again using wood glue, and then toward the top, I will add glue to that as well. In hindsight, I probably should have used just a little bit of hot glue for that instant hold to make sure that it was going to stay together. But I wasn't in a huge hurry to finish this, so I did put it together and then let it dry, take its time drying overnight so that it would be stable. You know, this is a little bit of out of camera range, and I apologize for that. I've been trying desperately to find a good angle to place my camera. These are some little Christmas ornaments that actually my husband actually picked up for me. Wasn't that sweet? He had gone out to Hobby Lobby to pick up a few things for me and found these and knew that I had been looking for some because I didn't have any small enough for this particular project. So he picks them up for me. So now that the base is together, if I can get these, if I can get these little balls out of that box, that's always a challenge for me. I'm going to use the fairy lights to string the ornaments onto and then wrap those along the back. So I just slide them through the top, get them where I want them. And try to alternate the colors going back and forth. So I don't want the same color or the same texture next to each other. So I try to um, manage that so that I'm using all the different colors and all the different textures. And once that is finished, I do a dry fit to see where I want it to hang. And I do want to hang it close to the base. I wanted to try to do a row of 4, a row of 3, and then a row of 2 with my lights. I actually wound up with 4 rows. I did one at the very top and 2, 3, and 4. And what you see me doing here is I just take my glue gun, which is not a high heat gun. It's a detail gun, so it makes a tiny little dot, and I'm putting a tiny little dot of glue on the fairy light string, not the light itself, but the string, to hold my ornaments in place so that they don't slide down. And I did wind up with 4 rows, as I said, alternating the colors. And then I'll just finish wrapping all of the lights around the rest of the tree. And I'll glue the power pack to the back so that it can't be seen. And there you have it with the lights on, all 4 rows. But then it looked kind of plain to me. So I thought I might add a little bit of greenery to it to make it look more like a traditional Christmas tree. So that's what I decided to do. And here you have the finished product. I just clipped off some greenery that I had. I had found an old wreath at the thrift store, and it had a lot of these kinds of limbs and leaves and sort of berries and things on it. So I bought it, and I've been clipping it apart slowly but surely. But here you have the finished product. It's a little Christmas tree with ornaments hanging, and that's it. So today I want to share with you a quick idea that I had for some Christmas ornaments. And I know that everybody's probably finished up their Christmas videos by now, but I don't really subscribe to a schedule. I just do what makes me happy and hope that you enjoy sharing it with me as well. I have a Dollar Tree ornament. It is plastic. And then I have my twine. And then I ordered these really cute little Christmas transfers from Amazon. So what I wanted to do was a variation of something I saw on a video the other day. The video that I watched, the crafter covered the entire thing in jute, but I wanted to leave a window. So I made a little mark. I kind of halfway measured my transfer, and I made a mark on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to go down the seams on both sides all the way down and then all the way back up. Now, once I finish with that, I'll begin wrapping the top until I get to where I want the window to be. And then I just use hot glue every once in a while to make sure that the twine doesn't go anywhere. So I'll speed this up so that it won't take too terribly long for you to see how I get to the window. When I get to the bottom of the ornament, once I get to the place where I wanted to stop my window, I turn my ornament around and I start at the bottom. And again, I'm just going to use hot glue to make sure that I cover this entire area. And then I'm just going to wind it around the ornament until I reach the portion of the window that I want to leave. So the last thing that I need to do is I need to place my little transfers in the window. I've chosen some that will fit in the window and cut them out of the transfers that I have. And then I'm just going to peel off the backing, place it where I want it, rub it just a little bit to make sure that it's going to stick, and then just slowly peel back the transfer sheet. And then you have an, a design on both sides of the window on each side of the ornament. So here you see I made a beaded garland to go on our TV stand. Our TV stand sits on an antique hutch, and I have a couple of gingerbread men. It's a rustic garland. And then I hung my ornaments from there as part of my decoration. Certainly hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks for joining me, and I appreciate it if you stayed this long. I'm Rebecca with Rust and Roses, and I appreciate you all.